being transgender, you know, you're exploring a whole new you, you're finding things about yourself that you never thought could be possible. I went to an elementary school. I was bullied somewhat because I was different from other kids, and I always knew that, but I never knew why, and that continued into middle school. I just always knew I was different. I felt dissatisfied with the person that I was, with how people saw me. I would control my appearance a lot. I believe it was May 8th of 2014, yeah, that I realized that I wasn't, you know, male, that I was a woman. So the first person I came out to was my younger sibling, who has hence come out as non-binary. And I told him this was the way that I am, it's the way that I feel most comfortable. Nobody taught people in schools in the 60s and the 70s what being transgender meant. But my parents took it really well. They just told me that they loved me very much and that no matter who I was as a person, I would always be their kid, whether it be their son or their daughter. My babaji, my father's father in Hindi, would always laugh when hijras were brought up. You know, because in India they're kind of treated as clowns. So I was really worried about telling them and him, but he was really good about it. You know, he reminded me of the transgender people in Hindu sacred texts, like in the Mahabharata, which is one of our sacred texts, which is a story about a war between good and evil that divides a family. There is a transgender man actually there that is a very prominent warrior for the forces of good, and through the help of that transgender man, the hero of the Mahabharata, Arjun, can help kill one of the villains of the story. And my grandparents and my family have become my biggest supporters. After a couple months of living socially as a woman, I decided to go on hormone replacement therapy, or HRT. At first I just noticed that my sweat was less, you know, I would sweat less and it didn't smell as much. My hair started growing a lot quicker. Then, you know, the body fat started to redistribute. You know, everything just changed. My hair started growing out like really, really quickly. And I've been on hormones for about, closing up on 3 years now. As my hair started growing, that was a big thing that made me much, much happier because, you know, in the Indian culture, long black hair is a very feminine symbol. And then as the changes, you know, started to happen more rapidly, I started to notice them. I felt so much better about myself. I was so happy. Finally, I was becoming the person that I always knew I could be. I get a lot of, wow, you look like a real woman, or stuff along that nature, which is pretty invalidating because whether or not the fact that my chromosomes or genitalia align with that of a cis woman doesn't make me any less of a woman. So when you would say, wow, you look like a real woman, it's invalidating because you're saying that I'm not a real woman just because I have different chromosomes or genitalia. No matter how you look, it doesn't in any way define your identity. You shouldn't be invalidated based on whether or not you conform to society's traditional, you know, appearances or stereotypes of gender. I think the best way to erase and decrease transphobia in this country is education. And I think a large problem is we don't really have a lot of transgender people of color, you know, public figures that we do. You know, you see Caitlyn Jenner, and that's wonderful, it's good for her, but you know, you don't really see any transgender people of color getting recognition. What I'd say to a trans person struggling is just basically, you know, it's okay. I know you're gonna feel a lot of pain at first. I know you probably have been for your whole life, but you know, there are options open to you. You can get hormone replacement therapy. You can, you know, change the way your body is. You can experience life as you've always wanted to be. I know it's gonna be hard, so no matter how bad you feel it does always get better. I think all people are inherently beautiful and should feel good about themselves.